Bryant Sexton. Oh my god, he's up to an 80 overall. Are you serious? This dude is insane. He was 77 overall when we started the season. He's put up 19 points in 36 games. Hey guys, how's it going? It's Etanios here. Welcome to episode number 7 of this NHL 22 Minnesota Wild franchise mode here on my channel. If you guys have missed any episodes up to this point, head up into that top corner of the video. I know it kills watch time, but I want you to be caught up on every episode that has been released before this point. So if you haven't checked out those other videos yet, I suggest you go do it. Also, if you do enjoy this video, make sure to drop a like down below. It really helps out the YouTube algorithm and pushes this video to more people. Also, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell to never miss these uploads, as we are so close to 2,000 subscribers. I think we are just over 40 subscribers away from 2,000. That is insane. And you guys have been crushing it over the past couple months. We were just barely at like 1,200 subscribers heading into NHL 22. You guys have absolutely skyrocketed that out of the water, and well, yeah, it's just crazy that we're approaching 2,000 subs on this channel now. So anyways, today we get into the off season of the 2022/23 season, as obviously last draft we acquired Matvei Michkov and a couple other great players, but I want to get into some comments because some of you guys didn't like it, specifically Sheldon Walker, who said realistic isn't trading the house for a franchise player. That includes 2 or 3 first round picks, an elite player for a franchise potential player. You would not have the number 1 and number 5 picks in this draft without gutting your roster. It's cheese. Those sorry teams earned those players. If you wanted Matvei, you should have tanked. So he was not impressed with that. He also did get a little bit offensive, so we're just going to ignore that stuff. But Duke Storm also said, nice draft, looking like a great future. And he did also respond to what I said last video about his injury. He said, yeah, it's been a rough couple months for me. But yeah, we're all feeling for you, Duke, but we're going to try to keep releasing these videos as consistently as possible. So let's get into this. I don't think we had any other really important comments here that applied to this video, but that's okay. So yeah, let's get into this. So first off, we got to hit the re-signing phase. Looks like we've got a bunch of coaches here that need to be re-signed, so we will obviously sign Brennan Frank. I think, yeah, we'll offer him the contract for now. He's been pretty decent for us. We haven't done poorly under him by any means, but we do also need to sign up some of these other coaches here, as all of our NHL staff is pretty much expiring here. So now that the coaches are dealt with, we can re-sign amateur scouts, who of course are the whole reason why we've been able to land some steals such as Bergfors and Verdovsky and Sexton. Of course, Bryant Sexton has been looking like potentially the best prospect we might pull in this entire series, which is actually crazy considering he was a 61st overall second-round pick, and is developing into what's looking like going to be a top 4 defenseman. So now that, do we have Kaprizov expiring? Or, hold on, has Boldy just surpassed Kaprizov in overall? He is not, but, hold on. Do we actually have Kirill Kaprizov expiring on a deal here? Oh boy, we're gonna be cashing out some money here. So, let's get into the re-sign phase. That's a little worrisome if Kirill, okay, no, Kirill is there. I don't know why Matt Boldy's popping up first, but it is what it is. So, looking at the contracts, honestly, we don't have too many bad contracts. We did re-sign JT Miller for that 1 year, $7.5 million deal. Apart from that, obviously, Oduya and Michkov are going to be in the team. I want Sundqvist. I don't know if we want Sevier necessarily. We might have better options to inject into the lineup. I'm thinking specifically Matvei Michkov and like Sundqvist, and maybe even Kuznetsov might even get a shot this year, but apart from that, apart from that, Dehaime will probably re-sign. He's been a pretty decent player in our system up to this point. Graham Sword, I really want to sign Sword, but I kind of also want to send him back to junior just based on the fact that he put up 81 points last season. Like, that's insane. He put up so much growth. I think Morgan Moy might be getting an opportunity in the AHL this year. I would love to sign him considering he shot up fairly significantly based on the past season. And then, of course, we've got Oscar Silverberg, who looks like an absolute beast. I'm really excited to see if he can grow. And I think we do give him the opportunity this season in the AHL over other guys like Bergfors and Sundin and Verdovsky and even Mayorov. I would rather just let those guys sit and instead try to kind of groom our first-round picks into top-end players. A guy like Masters, although we drafted him in 2021, I don't think he's really going to turn out, unfortunately. Same kind of thing with Ribeiro. He was a late-round pick, so we don't always expect those guys to turn out, especially if they get drafted with a little less potential than we would prefer. A guy like Caden Bankier, I don't know how you say his name. Anyways, we'll definitely sign him. I don't think we're going to sign Josh Pilar, even though I believe in real life, he put up like a ridiculous amount of points as a 19-year-old this season already. Like, he was leading the WHL for a little while there, and then Matthew Savoie was like, hey, I'm the better prospect here. So we're going to sign Silverberg to a left wing position. I don't know if that's necessarily the best move, but also looking at goalies. Sorry, we totally just skimmed over goalies, didn't really pay attention to them. Plekanec and Huselius were going to leave for a little while. I think we do re-sign Cam Talbot and just run that three kind of goalie system that we've been working with. I think that's probably a better idea. We'll sign Talbot for a real cheap deal there too. So, looking at the defense is probably where we can look to try and improve a little bit. Obviously, Oduya is going to be a great system fit with this team. I'm really excited to see what he can do, and since he's got wheels and elite edges and a whole bunch of other crazy good abilities, I think he's going to be amazing beside a guy like Trey Weller or Jonas Brodin or any of those guys. But at the same time, I don't know if we necessarily have a good enough defense to really go anywhere this year either, if that makes sense. Like, the team has some depth, but not enough on the back end, if that makes sense. Like, a guy like Sexton, I'm really excited for. He's hold line cycle, which is exactly what we're going to be playing with this system. And man, when you've got bouncer, stick 'em up, truculence, and shutdown as a second round pick, 61st overall selection, man, he's going to be good. So anyways, I'm probably overhyping him a little bit. A guy that we also need to pay attention to is Carson Lambos, as he is hopefully going to be in our team this year as a 20-year-old, 78 rated. We might end up sending him down to the minors if he can't really get it going in the NHL, but at the same time, we do need him to play some NHL minutes to develop. Okay, so that's goalies and defense. For right wing, our right wing is not super deep, but at the same time, we are going to be moving some centers and different players like that over, and obviously, we have to sign Matvei Michkov. When you've got close quarters and all those, well, when you're first overall pick, when you're the highest ever selection out of the Minnesota Wild franchise, through the draft, you have to be signed immediately to a contract. There's no way we're going to delay on that. We will re-sign Duhaime, and we will re-sign William Bitton. These guys have both been staples in the AHL, which is awesome, and I'm excited to see what they can do in the future. So that's the right wing. For left wingers this year, doesn't look like we've got too many issues. It's more so just a matter of depth, and you can see we have three guys here on the left wing that can play the right as well. We also have Jake Neighbors, who we just acquired in that St. Louis deal to bring in Matvei Michkov. I honestly think that this is going to be insane. Like, these guys are going to play so good together. And yeah, like, there's a lot of guys in this system that could turn out to be really good. I'm looking at guys like Adam Beckham and maybe even Jacob Krajicek. I think they could really make a difference here over the next couple seasons once they start to develop more. But yeah, the team is really looking deep and strong, and apart from that, the only other guys I think we really need to sign here, as much as I want to re-sign Eric Stahl, he's 83 rated, he's a really good-looking center, but at the same time, when I'm actually going in and looking at all of our team depth, we have Marco Rossi, we have JT Miller, who's going to be playing center, and like, I think we do sign Eric Stahl, but $3 million is also going to be a lot of money to bring him back. So maybe we go 2.85 for 1 year. I would assume that... Hold on. I think we... Okay, I really hope we didn't just offer Oscar Sundqvist $2.85 million. That would be bad. But it kind of glitched there, and I don't know what happened exactly. I think we just did this and, like, just spammed whatever he wanted. Nico Sturm for $1.58 million, I don't think is the right deal for this team this year, unfortunately. But we do have other guys that we should sign here instead. So I think we are going to let Sturm walk, but we will sign up other guys like Mason Shaw, Frederick Goudreau, I think. Might be wrong on his name. Yeah, Frederick Goudreau will resign. I think Kramaroza we will leave. And then Morgan Moy. See, I think he could really dominate this upcoming year. So I think we're going to leave him just for now. He was a 32nd overall pick, but we will leave him for one more season. If he doesn't develop, well, then he's still a 70 rated 20-year-old, but I really would like to see him put up some points. So we'll keep an eye on Morgan Moy because I do expect him to be able to put up some really good numbers. Did we not sign Eric Stoller? What's going on here? I don't know what's going on with Eric Stahl. That might be a glitch, but let's advance here a couple days and just see if we can get everybody re-signed or not. So, Brennan Frank is going to take the contract. He kind of looks like Joe Biden, actually. But it looks like we're getting all of our coaches back. That's really good. All right. By the looks of it, we got those two rookies as well. So just signing everybody else here. Cam Talbot joins the team, or rejoins the team. Same with Duhaime. Same with Goudreau, Mermis, Bitton, Shaw, Giroux. Stahl signs the $2.8 million or whatever it was. Oduya signs, Michkov signs, Silverberg signs, Bankier signs. Was that everybody? I feel like that wasn't everybody, but it might have been. That might have been everybody. Not actually that many contracts there. I thought we had more than that, but that's okay. Oh, Sundqvist. Okay. I guess, yeah, his contract glitched and didn't go through. So, $1.5 million for the next 2 years for 29-year-old. He's going to really help with some of the maturity on this team because it is a very young team still. I say it's a very young team. It's not actually that young a team, to be completely honest. Sword and Moy, again, they had fabulous previous seasons, so we're going to just keep an eye on them, and hopefully they will develop. Apart from that, we do have all these other guys down here. I just want to see growth. That's all I'm really looking for in guys like Bergfors and, well, not Boldy. I don't know. Oh, the glitch. That glitch just kills me every time. So, apart from that, like Bergfors, Sundin, Verdovsky, I just want to see some growth. That's all. That's all I really want from those guys, and maybe start to see them trend towards like an actual potential and role. So, now that is done, I think our only real target for free agency coming up here is going to be, I want to say it's just going to be a top-end defenseman. That's the only thing we really need. Okay, stop. Sundqvist didn't sign. I don't know why he didn't sign. He didn't get enough money, I guess. That's a little bit greedy, but that's okay. Okay. All expiring. Sundqvist is easily the only player that we really need to re-sign here. We'll go 1.9 for the next 2 years. If you don't take that, I'm going to be a little upset. Okay, there you go. Okay, so we do get Sundqvist, and we still have how much money? I didn't actually look. We still have $13.8 million. Obviously, we do have to re-sign Matthew Boldy, Marco Rossi, and a few other guys that are very important names, but, well, updating the trade block. Let's see. Well, I don't really want to trade any of those guys. Those guys all are going to be fairly important. Why would we trade Matvei Michkov, hey? That makes no sense. Okay. But yeah, these guys, well, this team is just shaping up very nicely. So, Sword and Moy are kind of the big names that we're waiting on development for. Apart from that, the team is really just looking so sturdy overall that really I got no concerns right now. So now that we are into free agency, let's test free agency, see what is available. Obviously we're looking for a defenseman, and it looks like there is no defenseman available. So, oh boy, okay. Two-way forward like Cousins hits free agency. That's pretty insane. Where are the defensemen? Mackenzie Weegar is the best defenseman available? Oh boy, okay. Maybe we go for Weegar? Or maybe like, Gostisbehere's not exactly what I'm looking for either. I'm really looking for a really solid defenseman that can just eat minutes like crazy. And maybe that's Travis Sanheim, but geez, there's not a lot of defensemen in here, so the best young defenseman available is without a doubt Keandre Miller. I don't know if he's a great fit either, to be honest. Justin Hall actually looks like a pretty decent option, just based on the fact that, yeah, he is 31, and he wants 2 years, but he fits our pairings, which isn't something you can usually say about guys. Dumoulin is also 31. He's actually the better defenseman there. Do we go out and get Dumoulin instead? Maybe. Maybe we do. Carrier actually looks pretty decent too. What about Gavrikov? Gavrikov could be good as well. I think we're gonna, as much as I want to spend all this money, I know we actually need to put it towards, players that are gonna make an impact for us in the future, like guys like Matthew Boldy, Marco Rossi, guys that need extensions over players that are, you know, maybe 27, 28 and are good for another 4 or 5 years but want $10 million. It just doesn't make sense, right? So 4 or 5, I'm like 7, 8 years. Everybody can play until they're about 35, but I don't think Sanheim's quite the best fit, unfortunately. Same with Orlov and all these other guys. If they're like, if pairing 2 is the best option that they fit, then it just doesn't make sense to go after them. Shattenkirk actually looks like a really good fit as far as he fits everywhere, but Zub, nope. Okay, so I think if anybody, we're going to be going for a guy like Gavrikov maybe. But he's also not guaranteed to fit our system, right? Dumoulin looks better. I just like that Justin Hall probably fits all of our defensive pairings. That's the thing with me that I look at and I'm like, yes, let's sign him. So, $3.25 million for the next 2 seasons. Not a bad deal. I think Justin Hall is going to be the option, or the right option for this team. How are goalies looking this year? Not a ton of potential, but some pretty decent goalies in here still. Fleury's obviously the best one there, but I honestly don't think we really need a goalie. I think we are in a really good position with where we're at. Did Philip Lindbergh seriously, like, not sign? Okay, Philip Lindbergh's a created goalie. He was legitimately drafted by Minnesota way back in, like, the 7th round of 2019, I think? I want to say 2019. I kind of want to offer him a deal, just based on the fact that he's going to be a good prospect goalie, but we also have so many goalies that I don't know if that really makes sense. He is 24, too, so yeah, I think we'll hesitate on that and not take that. But let's advance a few days. Hopefully we'll get Justin Hall, Jamie Benn and Sutter for... What the heck is that deal? That is such a bad deal. Trying to dump $12 million worth of cap space onto us. Spurgeon back for Kuznetsov. No, thank you. I don't want Jared Spurgeon back. As good as he is, I'd rather take a guy like Justin Hall. And yeah, okay. I think that's it. It's not the most exciting offseason ever, but we have contract extensions to get to in exchange for, you know, potentially pursuing some of these other players. And yeah, sure, a Maxime Comtois looks great as a player, but I would much rather take the potentials of Graham Sword and Morgan Moy over Maxime Comtois. Jordan Kyrou for Kuznetsov, I don't think so. I really want Kuznetsov. I think he's going to be great in the future. Plekanec and Moy, nope. Keandre Miller as well for Kuznetsov. Man, these are some weird but interesting deals, and I don't think we're taking any of them. Alright, so we are at the next season, and with Justin Hall in the lineup, I'm expecting the team to look a little bit stronger. So guys, just before we properly head into the next season here, we do need to make 1 or 2 roster moves. Obviously the roster, you can see by the ratings, looks absolutely stacked this year. It looks really, really good, but there are a few players I would like to move around the lineup. First off is going to be Jake Neighbors. I would like to move him up along with the likes of Cam Talbot. Those 2 guys should be in the team, and the guys that we are going to move down here are going to be, I think we're just going to move Ruedel down. That's the only guy. So, I'm going to make that roster move. That should make a difference, and now I got to edit lines. Alright guys, so here are the lineups now that I've actually dealt with everything properly, and I think kind of the strategy we're going to take with this team this year is depth beats everything, and I don't know if that's necessarily going to come true, but when you've got lineups like this where you've got a 92 Eriksson Ek, a 94 Matt Boldy, and like an 85 rookie Matvei Michkov on your first line, that's really solid. Never mind 88, 89, 93 for the second line with the chem boost, and then of course zero chemistry on the next 2 lines, but when you look at it, the depth is really strong, and we would have a minus if we were playing Sundqvist over Neighbors, but that's why I've chosen to play Neighbors here. Foligno will be our captain this year. I want Kaprizov and Eriksson Ek to wear the A's. I think Trey Weller could eventually snag an A if he continues to have some really good seasons, but I feel the same for Jonas Brodin too. He is 30 years old now, so he is getting up there in age, but you look at this team overall, and it's just deep throughout. Carson Lambos up to an 80 overall. I'm really excited to see what he's going to be able to perform and do this season. And then that's our depth for our system, but when we take a look at this team, based on the special teams, we should be deadly. It doesn't mean we will be, but we should be deadly. So, these are the groups. This is the chemistry. Feel free to pause the video if you want to take a longer look at it, but this looks really strong overall with this team. I'm really excited to get into the regular season. The AHL isn't quite as strong, but it's still got a lot of depth and a lot of players who could perform higher than their expected grade. And unfortunately, we don't have a ton of prospects to really keep an eye on down in the system, apart from, Bryant Sexton's kind of the main name there. I would really love to see a jump up this year from Adam Beckham. I think he has a lot of potential and ability to display still. Same with Alexander Kovanov. And then our youngsters down here are Krajicek and Silverberg as well. In goal, Jesper Wallstedt, obviously the mainstay kind of prospect name that's in the system right now that we really want to see develop. And that is the team. You've got a couple bench players here. Maybe we'll go out and sign like one more AHL kind of guy or something like that, just a defenseman to really help out with the system a bit. But overall, that's the team. That's how it looks. We're going to just double check captaincy here. Because I would like to make sure that a guy like Foligno is still wearing the C, and that, our top end kind of players do have alternates, and that is exactly how I want it to look. Beautiful. Okay. The only other thing here, Kuznetsov wears 22, and when I looked, Magnus Oduya also wears 22, so, I don't want to give him 24 as that was Matt Dumba's number. And I feel like number 2 is going to fit him just a little bit better. And I just want to make sure we don't have number 9 as well, because I believe Mikko Koivu's number was just retired there. Michkov number 39, that's a new face. Neighbors number 63. Kustadinov number 22. And Justin Hall number 3. So those are kind of our newest names here. Should be a really exciting season. I don't know if we're going to get through the whole season in this episode, as it has taken me a bit of time to kind of get the team set up here. But let's just go check out free agency quickly. Make sure that we get 1 or 2 more defensemen into this team here. There's a lot of guys just sitting around that have not gotten contracts and are RFAs, so that kind of sucks. But we could even go get a guy like Alex Edler or Smith or somebody like that who's actually fairly cheap. Instead, I'm feeling an offensive defenseman or a two-way maybe even a two-way defenseman for what we want to sign here. So, I'd like the defenseman to preferably be 70 rated plus. That would be better. Looks like there's just a lot of two-way defensemen. Okay. Let's go with Joel Nystrom. Sign him to an entry-level kind of contract. We do have some contract space too. So, maybe signing some extra depth wouldn't necessarily hurt the team. I think that's maybe where a guy like Cole Fonstad would be a decent signing too. It's Cole, right? Yeah. Is he an RFA? Nope, he's a UFA, so we'll sign him up to an entry-level deal. Montreal decided not to sign him. So just having that additional depth in the AHL will make everything flow a little bit easier in case we do come across injuries, which I'm more than counting on. Bergman, he's 3 years, so probably not. Okay, so I think that's all we're going to do. Did any notable goalies not get signed? Doesn't look like it. Oh, actually, a couple. Koskinen, Rittich, Subban, all guys that have played in the NHL did not get signed, so that's interesting. Joseph Wall also didn't get signed. Okay, so I think we're actually going to get into a couple games, some regular season sim and things like that now, considering that the team is actually set up. So let's take a quick peek at the draft class too, because you never know what's coming up. And Jagger Foligno, and that's another Foligno. Okay. That's an interesting looking player. I don't actually know if he's going to be really good or not, but at 6'3", I would assume he's a power forward, or maybe a two-way. And then who knows on the rest of these guys, what they're going to turn out to be. But yeah, that's, is there any goalies that are really high up? 48 is the highest. Okay, so that's just my initial take on the draft class. Don't know exactly how it's going to turn out, but I am going to get some scouting done off camera here quick, then we will simulate to the regular season and get simulating from there. Alright guys, so now that I'm all done my scouting, we are just going to jump in and take a quick peek at players. I haven't really been doing this year, and I do want to kind of bring this back as far as looking at new players in the team that you guys haven't really gotten to see before. So guys like Trey Weller, guys like, you know what Marco Rossi looks like, but like guys like Trey Weller who, he's been in the team for a year. He's been a staple of the Minnesota Wild defensive game. And he's just a freaking unit. You look at this guy, 6'5", like 220 something pounds. His abilities are insane, and let's just take a look at his appearance, see if he actually has the capacity and capability to grow a playoff beard. Looks like he doesn't. I'm kind of feeling Wild Man for him. I think we go clean shaven and then full beard length for the playoffs for Trey Weller. So apart from Trey Weller, another new face in the team is Marat Kustadinov. Again, a creative player. You guys can go check out the video for him. There will be a link for that down in the description. But just looking at his appearance, this is Kustadinov. he should be a pretty solid depth player for this team. I'm really excited to see what he can do, and hopefully he can grow into kind of a top 6 role, or at least a middle 6 kind of role at the very least. And then the other 2 new faces here, obviously, are Magnus Oduya, who we just picked up in the draft, who looks like he's going to be insane. Hopefully we can see some growth out of him this year. He is a smaller defenseman, but looks like he's going to be a really good player. Very much has that Swedish kind of appearance to him. You know, just the blonde hair. Looks like he's got the stash going too. That's sweet. He's got the mustache and full-blown, oh yeah, Oduya is going to be sweet beside a guy like Trey Weller. We gave Oduya number 2, so I just want to see what he looks like with number 2 in a Minnesota Wild jersey. It's just like, oh yeah, that looks so good. Oduya is going to be sweet. I'm really excited to see what he's going to be capable of, because obviously he's got wheels, so he's going to be so freaking fast. The key for him is going to just to be not to get injured, I think, more than anything, because when we take a look at his stats, does he at least have like 85 durability? He does. Okay, so that's kind of a standard, but doesn't always happen. And then, of course, Matvei Michkov. You guys have seen Michkov again. Another link down in the description for creative player, as we are going after quite a few of these creative player guys. But, oh yeah, Matvei Michkov is going to be so sweet as a Minnesota Wild player too. Yeah, I'm excited to see what he's going to be able to do, and if he can actually put up a crazy good rookie season or anything. He's got some very elite line mates too. And of course, you know, Jake Neighbors in there too. So that's the team right now. That's what we're looking at. And oh yeah, this team's gonna be really good. So I'm done my scouting. Let's sim to the regular season, and then we will get into some of this. So we do get Cole Fonstad, we do get Joel Nystrom, and yeah, that looks really good. For just added some depth players to the AHL to really help the system flourish and thrive down there. And JT Miller for 2 second rounders. That's what you're offering me? Seriously, man? I think we will pass on that. So yeah, looking at we are going to look into some contract extensions in this episode as well, just to, you know, try and get this team set up for the near future with some of our top end players like Matt Boldy and guys like that, because we do want them to stick around long term. So let's just take a peek here. I don't know if we can offer contract extensions to some of these guys. It's a little annoying, actually, but I would love to offer Boldy and those guys contract extensions, and I don't think we can. So, a guy like Marcus Foligno, 4.4 is a little pricey, but not crazy. Rossi wants $8.3 million, and he hasn't even produced a decent season yet. Seriously? Is this really what we're dealing with right now? Has Marco Rossi put up, what, 52 points? Okay, that's nothing crazy. It's not worth 8.3 million or whatever he's expecting. Jesus, okay. He still wants $7 million on the cheap end. Can we do lower than that for like a 1 or 2 year? Rossi, that's insane, man. We haven't even performed yet. Greenway wants 7.225. That's still $6 million for Greenway too. Ooh, we are gonna get into a cap crunch here real quick. So that is that's a little. It's not infuriating, but it's just a little annoying based on the fact that like we have this good team, but certain guys are like, pay me up right now, bro, and I'm like, we don't have the money, bro. Like we got other guys we gotta sign too. So Rossi's gonna be sick. I absolutely know that. But for 7.1 million almost, like, is that really worth it for 3 years? A $6.8 million contract for 2 years in the future, I think, is a little bit more worth it for Rossi. For Greenway, he would be 6.15, which actually isn't that terrible a deal. Combined, that's about half of our available extension space, which is okay. And then Marcus Foligno as well. He's 4.4 million. 3.75 is definitely doable. And he is our captain too, right? Like, we want to keep him around for those next 3 years. So it'd be nice if all those guys sign. They're the only guys that want extensions at this current point in time, but that's okay. So now we get to actually get into the season. Obviously, Chicago games are going to be the main staple and the focus of the season. We get Foligno for a nice cheap deal. That's beautiful. He did not take long to accept that at all. Let's just advance a day or two here past Arizona. And we lose in the shootout to start it off. Great start, boys. So that one kind of sucks, but that's all right because it's a new year. We got lots of leeway, and we do need to start winning games. But if we go all the way up to the end of December, we don't even play Chicago once. Are you kidding me? Okay, so how many times we play Chicago this season? Once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. Okay, we play them 4 times in the last 4 months of the year, so that's kind of annoying. But I think as of right now, we just simulate up to December 31st or like January 1st, see where the team's sitting, and then go from there. See if we need to make some moves. Greenway re-signs for $6.15 million, not bad. Marco Rossi signs for, what did we offer him? Like 7.1 million for the next 3 years or 2 years. That's not bad. So, or I think it was 6.8, something around there. Ooh, okay. So we do have another franchise player here. Triple balance, don't block, plays like Miku Koivu. Is very passionate personality, but gets emotional at times. Is driven to win. That's an interesting player. Jagger Foligno. Crease crasher guaranteed. Okay, that's a very interesting player. He's got 7 points in 11 games, but he is he's looking like an absolute unit, to be completely honest. Lots of interesting prospects in here. Looks like we only really have an elite top 5, so that's actually normal. Usually the case is not quite like that, as far as certain players don't really, sometimes they fall out of the top 5 for elites and things like that. Maybe we still have one here. Oh, hello. Francois Labruniere. He's a power forward, possibly. I think he's a two-way forward, to be honest, if he's compared to Sean Couturier. But that's an interesting player. Normally they don't fall that far for NHL ready guys, so we'll keep an eye on him. Theo Owens, a defenseman in the rest of the world. That's also a very interesting player. Niskala, probably not going to take a look at him so much. And then lots of other scouting reports still on their way back. So as a first real peek at the draft class, doesn't look overly special apart from Jagger Foligno, who will probably end up going to a different team, as we did pick up Matvei Michkov, but we start winning here. We win 1, 2 in a row, and then we lose to Boston. Novak is back in the lineup. Okay. Against San Jose, we win 2-0. We beat Wow, okay, we lose twice in a row to Arizona. They are actually playing decently well right now. And we lose to St. Louis, too, as they have Line and Matt Dumba on that team now, who are 2 really good players. Against the Islanders, we win, and we do back-to-back against the Islanders with 2 days for travel time in between, and we beat them both times. So that is really solid. That's what we wanted to see. And for Marcus Foligno and JT Miller, we're getting offered Pelech a third and Ruda. I don't think so. I would much rather keep our current situation and our current team together. And we lose Addison to concussion. So that's where Pullman will step in. And seems like a strong draft class this year. Interesting. Okay. Calgary we beat, but then we lose 6-5 to Vancouver. So we're 6-4-1 right now on the year. Heading in against Calgary again, we lose again. So 6-5-1. All right, Anaheim's been playing well. We lose to them too. Come on, boys. Minnesota, I know you guys are stronger than this. Woohoo. 15-4 leaves. We beat them. And then we beat the Oilers 2-1 in overtime. Okay, so we were getting on a bit of a roll. We do lose one there to Nashville, but then we beat Winnipeg. So, I mean, the team's doing pretty well. There are still a lot of teams in front of us. We are in the bottom half of our division right now, and we keep losing to teams that we shouldn't lose to. Come on, man. Buffalo's gotta... We gotta beat teams like Buffalo. That's just not good enough. But Michkov up to an 81. Okay, so he's not doing anything super special this year. Marco Rossi has got 15 points in 20 games. Okay, that's pretty good. Only 12 and 20 for... Oh, boys, we are not performing to a high standard right now. Michkov has got 14 and 20. He's doing incredibly well. 13 and 20 for Greenway. Okay, what about Weller? He's got 4 assists. Oduya's got 9 points in 20 games. Okay, so nothing crazy, but really not a bad start to a rookie season either. We're going to get Addison back in for Poolman. That's just going to make the team a little bit better and a little more balanced. But our goalies have really not been good up to this point. So I think what we're going to try here is let's see, Kakinen's been 2 of 6. Okay. He's been really shabby, to be completely honest. So we're going to put Cam Talbot in, give him a shot as the backup, hopefully win some more games with him. We lose in a shootout to Toronto. That was kind of expected. They were coming for us. But then we beat, who is that? Washington there? Yeah, so taking a slightly deeper look at the draft. This guy's really, he's interesting to me. Francois Labruniere. Hello, Duffy. How you doing there? He actually looks pretty decent, too. As far as he could turn into something. Kim Janssen, hello. Okay. Markov, who knows? Bomeister is a goalie, so maybe. Vasilyev, I guess is how you say it. Bit of a strange one there. And Duras too. Okay. So who knows? There's lots of names available in here that could turn out, but could also just be terrible. So, what about low elites? Nascala could turn out to be something, but who knows? Pierre Gaucher. Not a lot of like super standout kind of guys or players or anything. So, all right, Justin Hall has a minor concussion, so Poolman will step in for him. We're 11-9-2 now, heading into the beginning of December. And we're starting to get on a bit of a roll now. I think having Cam Talbot switching up the goalies a little bit has made a bit of a difference. It hasn't been like a crazy big difference, but should be helping the team out at least a little bit here. Maybe we try doing this. Move Michkov down. Try maybe a guy like Kaprizov. Yeah, let's do that. How good's Roslovic's face-off? 72. So yeah, we'll keep Miller at center. But I'm going to try Michkov down a line, see if that boosts anything up at all. We could even try Rossi like there. Oh, I like that. Okay, Marco Rossi in exchange for Roslovic. I think we do that. Give that a try. Play double +5s. And we did just get, what's his name back? Did just get Justin Hall back. So hopefully we'll start to see some growth from Oduya, and Talbot's up to an 83, so he's 1 for 1. That's beautiful. Okay, he needs to play more games apparently. Calendar glitch is 100% going on right now. That's cool. Okay, so we beat Pittsburgh, but then lost to Winnipeg. All right. Not rolling quite as hot as we want to be right now, but we're not doing terrible. Then we lose to Boston, so now it's a little too tight for what I would like to see. I would like to be closer to teams like Dallas and such, but we keep losing games in tight ones to teams that I don't want to lose to, as we lose to Florida but then beat Detroit. Okay, San Jose is a good team. They have been hot, and then somehow we beat them. But watch us lose 2 to Nashville, and Nashville's like bottom of our division. Maybe not. Okay, We beat the Predators there in 1. Oh, we lose Miller with an injured shoulder. That's not spectacular. But then we beat Nashville in back-to-back games, and we lose in OT to Ottawa. So, really not the hottest start to a season. I think we had a better start to our season last year, to be completely honest. But Kaprizov has turned it on. 37 points in 34 games. He's started to heat up, absolutely. But 40 points is as good as 6th place in the Pacific. We're not really doing all that hot in the Central right now. And there's a lot of teams that are doing better than us. So, I mean, I was expecting Minnesota to do decent, but I knew the defense was also going to be shaky for us at best. So, Toronto and Edmonton are on top. Calgary, Vegas, Rangers, Canucks, and Lightning, as well as Colorado, all up there in the top 8. Pittsburgh caps out the top 10 with LA there. And we are currently sitting in 15th place. So we are borderline not even a playoff team 34 games into the season. We have, like I said, been shaky at best. And other teams down here, such as, I want to say Nashville, but Nashville's only in 28th. Teams like Philly, Carolina, and Buffalo should be excited considering there's a guy like, what's his name? Foligno at the top of the draft. So, I mean, there's definitely options, and wow, okay, Buffalo actually should be doing way better. I don't know how they're not. They have some insanely good players, but looking at our team scoring up to this point too, Boldy and Kaprizov kind of lead the way there. Rossi and Greenway scoring at the same pace, and there's a 4-year age gap there, but still. Michkov's got 20 points, 18 points for Kuznetsov's not bad at all. 16 for Oduya is what we want to see. And who else? Lambos has got 9 points. That's not great. Addison's been kind of terrible up to this point. I really wish he was doing better. But it's hard to get those guys to produce when they're really not playing well. Trey Weller's got 6 points. He's up to an 87 overall now, so he's growing like a weed. I love how well he is shooting up. But looking at the rest of our team here, Mason Shaw having a year down there. 31 points for Adam Beckham. Really should be boosting him up, and it's not. Bryant Sexton. Oh my god, he's up to an 80 overall. Are you serious? This dude is insane. He was 77 overall when we started the season. He's put up 19 points in 36 games. Oh my god, how many hits does he throw a game? That's actually what I'm kind of interested to see. Oh my god, he's had a freaking 12.7 shooting percentage this year. Bryant Sexton is an absolute AHL god. He's already thrown more hits this season in 36 games than he did all of last season. His takeaway to giveaway isn't great, but he's also a defensive defenseman who's going to botch passes sometimes. But man, he is, oh my god. Bryant Sexton is going to be one of the real deals on this team. I'm actually so excited for him to hit the NHL. I think he's going to be a force of nature alongside a guy like Trey Weller. And I think we're going to be able to build one of the most scary defensive cores in the league with the guys we have. So, looking at, Iowa's sitting in 6th. They are killing it. Okay, I'm not surprised, but I'm just genuinely happy with how Iowa's doing right now. I did not honestly think they were going to do that well. I wonder if Wallstead shot up at all either, because, the team's playing well. We got Fonstad in there now, so that's good. Silverberg's grown a little bit. He's had 10 points in 36 games. That's not bad. But Sexton's easily become our best defenseman there. Wallstead goes down a rating. Man, come on. He's 111 out of 13. Oh, that's just gross. He should be like an 81 or 80 at least by now. So, a little disappointing there that Wallstead hasn't been able to step up more, but we'll keep an eye on him. And we're 2 games off of playing against Chicago here. I just got to do a little bit more scouting, and then we'll wrap up the episode with the Chicago game. Dallas could be interesting too, considering they are just 1 point ahead of us. So maybe we focus on those 2 games here right away, but that will be where we kind of conclude the episode, is with those 2 games as soon as I get this scouting done. Alright, so we are done scouting now, and, well, we got a game against Dallas here, as they are currently sitting with a 20-15-1 record, and we're 18-12-4, so we're just behind them by a point at this current moment, unless they've played an extra game, which doesn't look like. They've played 2 extra games, so we got to try to catch the Dallas Stars, and then, of course, the Chicago Blackhawks after that. So let's get into this. First period, it's a 33 game. Holy moly. Okay, that was a crazy close game. Second period, we're up 6-4. That looks really good. Okay, let's just hold on to this lead, hey? Is that doable? Is that doable, Minnesota? Power play with the +5 chemistry doesn't convert. That kind of stings, especially when our team is this good. Dallas is 2 shots away from tying this. Power play again for Minnesota. Doesn't go. Dallas power play doesn't go. Oh my goodness. Are we going to have a scoreless third period? Come on, that's so anticlimactic considering it's a 6-4 game, but we'll take the win. I'm not going to complain about that. So, 3 stars go to 2 goals for Kaprizov, 2 points for Hintz, and 2 points for Kuznetsov. Nice, Kuznetsov is having a year right now. So, alright, that looks really good. Oh, and we lose Talbot to herniated discs. Ooh, that's not great. Okay. Over to Chicago, who sits with a 22-13-5 record. We're not going to give up Cam Talbot. Sorry. Detroit, but that one is not happening. Okay. Alright, so now up against Minnesota. Or sorry, against Minnesota, against Chicago. And this should be a good one. Chicago is hot right now, 7-3-10. They're actually hot, not like I said a few episodes or seasons ago. But first period, 0-0 game, 9-9 on shots, not super exciting. Second period, 1-0 Chicago lead off a Kirby Dot goal on Darcy Kemper. And now we get to jump into this game with what is a much stronger Minnesota team than we have had in the past. Patrick Kane's the captain of the Chicago Blackhawks now. I guess Jonathan Toews left the Blackhawks organization or retired. But looks like it should be a really, really even game here overall, so let's see how it goes. Alright, so here we go. Game against Chicago should be a good one, to say the least, and we are into it here, so. Oh god, Chicago. Nope. Good takeaway by Matt Boldy, though. He's going to send Kaprizov down the other way, and we're not doing that. Trey Weller. Oh, you don't want to fight Trey Weller. What are you doing? Seth Jones, you have just asked for it so bad here, buddy. I don't know what you were expecting, man. Oh, Weller is mean. Like, if you don't understand that by now, Trey Weller is a mean human being. He's one of those guys that just wakes up every morning and chooses violence. Because Trey Weller's a freaking unit. Why would you want to take him on? That just doesn't make sense to me, but, oh boy, okay. We're going to keep our first line out there as they are energized now, even though Kaprizov did get domed on that play. Kirby Dach loses the puck to Kalen Addison. Addison tries to cut to the net. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. That's a trip. Seriously, man? Fuck. Such a bad penalty. Win the battle. Win the battle. Jesus, we lost that battle? Seriously? That's how you get scored on, man. See? Like, that's what I'm talking about. Shit. So stupid. Like, such a dumb goal. It shouldn't even happen. Like, we're literally in our own end the whole time. Or in their end the whole time. Like, what is going on? Seriously. So, not very impressive. We're down 2-0 now. Addison shoots the puck like 10 feet wide. Sorry. So yeah, we get 29 shots in the game and get shut out by Chicago. How exciting of a game is that, hey? Fantastic, fantastic game, EA. Yeah, so, I mean, I love our team. I love Minnesota as a franchise and how we've set this thing up, but when you literally look that disgusting as a team playing against a team that's only... They're only 6 points ahead of us with 2 games in hand. We win that game, and it is very doable to catch them in just 2 more games. But Kaprizov gets kept off the board. Our entire team gets kept off the board, and it's a little bit of a disappointing ending to it. What was overall a really good episode, but yeah, that just stings to watch Chicago just kind of waltz away with that win like it's nothing. But anyways, that's where we're going to wrap it up for this episode. If you guys did enjoy, make sure to head down below, subscribe to the channel if you're new, make sure to hit that like button again if you enjoyed, and feel free to leave your comments for what you think this team needs, what you think we need to work on to really move Minnesota into a playoff contending position. Because yeah, having a guy like Marco Rossi out of the lineup and hurt, or sorry, not Marco Rossi, JT Miller out of the lineup and hurt, really does not make this team play any better than what we've seen so far. So I mean, obviously we'll have some better opportunities down the road once these injuries clear up and the team can start playing a little bit more cohesive as a unit. But yeah, that's where we're gonna wrap it up. I hope you guys enjoyed and do all that good stuff, and until next time.